Minimal Multipliers back with Robert Klinkenbeard with another just good way to look at your company. And what he has today is a function chart to make sure that we don't have overlap with the people in our company. So, Robert, help us understand what is a function chart and what value does it bring to operations in our business?
So the function chart is really, it just helps to try and eliminate some of the confusion in a company. So the example that's given in some of the scaling up stories is that it was a small company, husband and wife were effectively running the company, but they were both acting as CEO for the company. So people would be going to one of the owners, the husband, give and get directions one way, and then other people would be going to the wife, and there would just be a lot of confusion, and people just wouldn't necessarily know, who to report to, and they were given a different direction. So this chart will just to help to eliminate some of that confusion amongst different functions within a company, whether it be a CEO level or some of the other functions within the company.
I can tell you, this is something actually that's happened in my company, so I can relate with this already. So walk us through.
Okay. So, first of all, you need to establish what are the real functions I need within my business. Now, the typical ones, and sorry, this is a little bit blurred, but you have typically marketing, you have operations, you have HR, human resources, you have sales, and there might be 3 or 4 other functions, but you list out the main functions that you need within your business. So once you get that established and you think, well, who's, and it's actually an interesting exercise if you do this amongst your leadership team, because once they put down the individual name, who they feel as though belongs or owns that function, sometimes you'll then say, oh, I've got an issue here because some people are putting different names within these boxes. So you start thinking, oh, I've got an issue here because if my people in my leadership team have got 2 different names for, say, for example, HR, then there's confusion there. So I need to fix that. So once you do through that exercise and you either find there's 2 names in the same box, or maybe there's 1 name that's missing, then you start thinking, okay, I've got, first of all, an issue I need to fix there. Once you get that established and fix some of the confusion, then the next step would be, okay, if that person owns this function, what are the 2 or 3 KPIs, the key performance indicators, that I can measure that person in that role? Now, ideally, you want to have at least 1 leading and lagging KPI. So leading KPI might be some type of activity which will lead towards some type of sale. So say, for example, you go out and do a bunch of marketing activity and get lists and start getting people in the door, then unless you're doing that at 2 or 3 months in advance, that's going to affect how many actual solid hot leads you have in place. So you typically want one leading KPI, and then maybe one or 2 lagging KPIs. So, for example, with marketing, one of their leading KPIs may be they need to be responsible for 3 social media posts per week. So you go through every single function, you create 1 or 2 KPIs, you have a discussion with that person just to make sure they fully understand what they need to work on, what they own, and then those are typically the things they will report on either a weekly or monthly basis, just to tell you if they're actually being successful in that function. So it's a good way of measuring people to see if they're being effective. People will quickly tell if they know themselves whether they're being effective or not. But it's a good way just to really just push that process down, have some real solid KPIs, and really begin to measure people rather than just trying to do it, off the top of your head and just a gut feeling. So, we'll send this worksheet out to everybody, which will hopefully be a little bit clearer. If they have any questions about just some of the definitions or how you start this exercise, but it's pretty good explanations on the worksheet.
Okay. I can tell you this is something we actually utilize as well for us, Robert. As we say, you can only have 1 ass in 1 seat. You can't have 2 asses in 1 seat, because that's going to create confusion. And as we say as well, principle-based and definitely with traction, everyone should have a number. As you're talking about, KPIs, and again, they can have 1 or 2, maybe max 3. But if you have one ass and one seat and that person owns 1 to 2 potential KPIs in the company, it's important. And I know that out of all the stuff that we've learned, this is one of the things we really grabbed onto as an organization that's important for us. So Robert, thanks so much for sharing, and check in the attachments or the comment section below for the actual attachment. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much, Robert.
Thank you.